So I used to work at a bookstore, and this young woman who was like a real Karen came in sometimes and used to look at the books on like psychological disorders, like especially borderline personality disorder. So I think she, probably thought that she had some of those kinds of disorders, which I think is what makes Karens the way that they are and complain so much about everything and take everything so personally, which she did. And another type of book she used to look at would be Christian books because she was a hardcore Christian. So one day she's buying these Christian books, and I said, "Oh, you're a Christian?" And she said, "Yeah." "Aren't you?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "What are you?" And I said, "Nothing. I don't believe in God." And she looked offended and like a little bit shocked, like appalled even, and like widened her eyes at first in shock, and then angrily like squinted at me, right? And I could tell she was like thinking of what she could possibly say and what way she could complain about me not believing in exactly what she does, as Karens have to do. They have to complain about everything. If we don't agree with everything they say, they are going to take it very personally and act offended, which is exactly what she did. And I didn't work for like a big company or anything, but I could tell that while she was thinking to herself, she was probably considering like complaining to my manager or something, which is, something these types of women do all the time as their normal response. But then she like obviously thought to herself, "Oh no, I can't do that." Or, she thought something and then second guessed herself, because it took her a moment. Like I could see her thoughts change, like her eyes were wide and then she was squinting and thinking for so long. And, her eyes like darted from side to side. So I know she was like thinking of different things to say. But her response finally was just so priceless. I had to share it with you. She, while squinting at me angrily, says again very angrily, "I'm going to tell Father about you." Since she couldn't complain to my manager or a higher authority at corporate, she thought of the next the next higher authority in her life she could complain to about me, which was, like God or her church. Her pastor would be the like the manager in that corporate ladder, right? That she's gonna go to about me. She literally said she's going to tell Father about me, and I was just like, okay, that'll be $15, ma'am, or whatever it was. And she again looked at me shocked that I didn't care about her opinion, and that the conversation was over and she just had to pay and go. So she again just like stared at me for a moment like, what can I say? And I just repeated the total. I was like, "Ma'am, that'll be $15. So she like realized there was no way to have that conversation with me in a professional environment. And I just think it was funny, her reaction and considering what was going on in her mind. And another ironic thing is that I actually think, after looking at some of those books on those disorders, I actually think I might have borderline personality disorder as well. But I don't go around getting offended if people don't believe in the same spiritual things that I do. But these Karens, they have to get personally offended about every single thing, and they complain about you too. Everyone. And I think that's why a lot of these women choose to be religious, because they know then there's always a higher authority that they can go to complain to when there aren't any in the corporate structure or governmental structure or any of the structures, the power structures here on earth. They'll go to the imaginary ones that transcend the earth.